Hi everyone, welcome back to Sakyo Jun's live channel. This is part of my series Talk with AI, where I explore real-life stories and dig deeper through a conversation with AI. Today's story is about someone exploring whether a personal passion could become a real career. They've been into dream interpretation since they were young. At first, they just started it for fun and used it to understand their own dreams. Later, they started helping friends, and the feedback was actually pretty positive. Some people even kept coming back for more. That made them wonder, if I'm good at this, could I actually charge for it? Would anyone pay? Is there even a market for something like this? That's the story for today. Then I asked, I guess only market can really tell if there is a market, right? But now I'm curious, what are some practical steps someone could take to start testing this kind of idea? AI said, that's a good topic, and honestly, it's a crossroads a lot of people hit. I have something I love, I'm pretty good at it, but could it actually become a source of income? One way to find out is through low-cost testing. Instead of waiting for the perfect answer, you can take small steps to see whether your passion has the potential to become a service people are willing to pay for. Here's how you might start. Step 1. Define what exactly you are offering. You are helping people interpret dreams, but what's your end goal? Is it based on psychology? Is it more spiritual, using tarot, symbols, or intuition? Or is it a reflective conversation that helps people explore their inner world? This will shape who you attract and how they perceive the value of your service. Step 2. Offer a test version. Open up a limited number of trial sessions. The first 10 people for free or half price. For each session, ask for honest feedback. How do they feel about the experience? Do they think the price was fair? Will they recommend it to a friend? Step 3. Watch for organic interest. If people start referring others and ask, are you doing more of this? That's a good sign. You could also set up an Instagram or Line account and see if strangers are willing to follow and engage with your content on dreams and the unconscious. Step 4. Experiment with price and scale. Once you've gathered some feedback, try adjusting the price gradually. At the same time, think about scale. Could you turn this into a mini course, a downloadable dream guide, a live-streamed interpretation session? This helps you reach more people beyond just one-on-one sections. Bottom line, don't wait around asking if a market exists. Create a small version of your service and see who shows up. That was AI's response. Here's what I said next. That was super clear. Thanks. But it made me think of something else. These days, a lot of people turn to AI for dream interpretation. So, does that mean AI could eventually replace human dream workers? AI said, AI dream interpretation is improving fast. It can explain symbols, cite Freud or Jung, and even simulate a basic session. But it can't replace the human touch. For example, AI reads the words, but you know the person. You know what they've been going through, and that helps you connect the dream to their real life. That kind of emotional context, AI just doesn't have it. Also, people don't just want answers. Sometimes they just want to say, "This dream really shocked me." A real person can sit with them in that feeling. AI can sound kind, but it can't be with you. And lastly, human interpreters help people see the bigger picture, how their dreams reflect deeper themes in their life. So, in the end, AI gives information, human gives connection and healing. That was AI's response. So I asked a follow-up. You say AI gives information, but humans give healing. I'm not so sure about that. Do you really think AI can't offer any kind of healing experience? AI said, "Good question, and I'm really glad you brought it up. What I said before was too absolute. Let's break it down. Can AI bring healing? Yes, but not because AI has feelings. It's more about how the person feels when they interact with it. For example, someone might write about their pain late at night, and AI replies, "I am here, I am listening." That can feel warm and comforting, not because AI truly understands, but because the person feels heard, and that can be healing. Some people even say, "You understand me better than my friends." That emotion is real. So why do I still say human healing is different? Because humans bring something AI can't. Real presence, real choice, real emotion. It's powerful when someone chooses to be kind, not because they have to, but because they care. We feel it in their voice, their silence, their eyes. Those little things that say, "I see you." AI can try to copy that, but it's not the same. And honestly, sometimes the fact that people aren't perfect makes it even more meaningful when they show up for you anyway. So here's the main point. AI can bring comfort, but it's one way and a bit like a simulation. Human healing comes from connection. It's messy, alive, and real. It's like reading a good book. It can comfort you, but talking to someone who truly cares, that stays with you in a different way. That was AI's response. It made me pause, and here is what I wanted next. Your response brought up another thought. Technology has changed the way we connect with others. More and more, we rely on social media, video calls, or content platforms like YouTube and podcasts, where most of the communication is one way. We are speaking to people, not necessarily with them. How is it different from face-to-face interaction? Can it really replace the depths of real human presence? And could these shifts be affecting us in subtle psychological ways? AI said, "That's a really insightful question. You are touching on something that's being explored across psychology, media studies, even philosophy. Simply put, digital communication is different. It's safer, more convenient, and more in our control. But because of that, it often lacks something essential: uncertainty and vulnerability, the very things that make real relationships meaningful. So, what can this lead to? Feeling lonely without even realizing it, because you are always connected but rarely seen. Relying on likes or followers to feel valued. Growing anxious around real conversations, because we are used to texting, not talking. Bottling up emotions with no one to really listen. Expect maybe an AI. The takeaway? Tech offers us simulated connection, but really healing often comes from messy, in-person moments. The kind you can't fully control, but let's stay with you. That was AI's response. That answer hit home, so I followed up with, "Honestly, I feel like I've experienced all the things you just described. And I think a lot of people listening probably relate to. It's true, we tend to choose what feels safer and more convenient when it comes to connection. But you said something that really stuck with me. Uncertainty and vulnerability are the nutrients of human connection. That sounds strange. Most of us don't like feeling uncertain or vulnerable. So, how do those things actually nourish relationships instead of hurting them? AI said, that's a really important question. It touches a basic paradox in human relationships. We want closeness, but we are afraid to be vulnerable. We don't like uncertainty, but real connection only grows when things aren't fully in our control. Let me explain in 3 simple parts. 1. Why do we avoid vulnerability? Because it feels risky. We might get rejected. We might not be enough. We can't control others' response. So we stay guarded to feel safe. 2. Why is it actually helpful? Because when you open up just a little, you give others a chance to meet the real you. If you say, I don't know what I'm doing, someone might say, that's okay, I've been there too. If you admire, I feel lonely, someone might say, Sam, let's face this together. That's where connection starts, when we drop the mask. 3. What about uncertainty? Uncertainty is part of trust. You can't know how someone will respond, but choosing to show up anyway, that's what builds real closeness. In short, vulnerability feels uncomfortable, but it's what makes love, support, and honesty possible. Tech lets us stay safe and published, but true connection comes from the messy, human parts we often try to hide. That was AI's response. Here is what I said next. So that makes me wonder, if I write about my thoughts in a journal or share personal reflections through a podcast or online posts, does that count as taking a risk to be vulnerable? I mean, I'm opening up and putting parts of myself out there. I do hope it creates some kind of real connection, even though, honestly, not many people are responding yet. Is that still a form of showing up and letting others in? AI said, that's a beautiful question. The short answer is yes. It does count as vulnerability. But the depth of connection depends on a few things. When you are sharing your thoughts publicly, through a journal, a podcast, or a post, you are saying, this is what I think. This is what I am feeling. That's a form of emotional risk. It takes courage, and it can make others feel seen or drawn to you. But if no one responds, or if you don't invite interaction, it becomes more like emotional broadcasting. You are sending out a signal, but connection needs more than just sending. It also needs someone to receive, and for you to be open to receiving them. Real connection usually happens when someone responds to your openness, and you respond back with curiosity, presence, and care. If what you truly want is more interaction, but it hasn't happened yet, that's not a failure of your message. It's more about timing, visibility, and resonance. What you are doing now is like lighting a small cabin in woods. Maybe no one has stepped inside yet, but the light is real. And when someone does pass by, they might stop and feel a little less alone. That was AI's response. I think its metaphors are getting better and better. To anyone out there passing by the little cabin, you are always welcome to come in and rest for a while. That's it for today's episode. Thanks for listening. See you next time. Bye bye.